Hi, everyone. MREA Poche, your coaching consultant, coming to you on this lovely Wednesday. I thought of this topic that I think is super relevant, which is leverage. We all need it. We all want it. What does it look like? Let's jump right in and talk about it. If you are enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe. Specifically, subscribe right now because I am on a quest to get to 500 subscribers. Let's jump into our topic, which is leverage. So the very first thing that we are going to talk about, I swear this is showing up in all of my coaching clients' businesses. I don't know what it is, if I'm just attracting a bunch of people that are needing to hire, or if I think is actually the other thing, which is I think right now we're all just feeling really strapped and really burned out because we're just going a million miles an hour. And there's only so many millions miles an hour that we can go before things just start crashing down. So the first thing that we look forward to is leverage. So the very first mistake that people make is they go out and they hire an agent. Okay. I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole because you, my friend, you are one of the smart ones and you are not going to go out and do that. We are going to talk about hiring an admin first. Okay. That is the first hire you have to make. We're not going to argue about this. I can prove it to you over and over again. So do we have clarity around what we are wanting to build? Yes, your first hire is an admin. Absolutely 100%, no questions asked. If you're a realtor, and you're doing 20 to 30 units a year, typically it shows up around 30 to 36, depending on price point, you are going to start feeling super, super burned out and tired and really probably leaving money on the table because we don't have leverage. Real estate is actually the only business I'm aware of that starts with one employee and typically doesn't grow past that. And I think that that is just absolutely insane because if we looked at a real estate business like a business, for example, any other businesses out there, there's no way that you would not have a front desk person, an admin person, your office manager. We're really talking about making that first key hire, which is the admin role. Now, if you want to learn more about hiring the right people at the right time, you are going to want to go to the MREA. You could probably get to page 197, okay? And then we're going to learn about building a team that follows a model, which is what the MREA is really good on. That's why I love this book. Okay, but I'm going to get off that tangent. So the whole purpose of this is we're going to hire an admin. We're going to have clarity around what we're building. So specifically on page 197 of the MREA, it gives us a vision of what could our business look like, right? So we have the agent and we have the CEO at the top, and that's you. And then we have a whole marketing department and a lease listing specialist and a lead buyer specialist. And there's agents under those teams. And then this is all the admin support right here. That's a lot of people. Now, granted, this team is making $1 million in GCI, but that's really achievable. So that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is what are we building? If we know where we're going, we know how to train our first hire and we know what kind of talent we need to hire. So the second thing I want to talk about is having a job description. I need you to stop long enough to do a complete brain dump of all the projects that have been outstanding that you have not been able to do. Go back to your business plan and look at all the things that are not getting done. And let's go out and hire the person that specifically has the ability and the skills to go make that happen. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you haven't seen this story of mine, which is basically where I talk about how to go through making sure you're finding the right person. And when you're conducting that interview, how to not be the person that's doing 99% of the talking. Because if you're doing that, you're not listening to the other person. You don't know if you're bringing on the right person. So we're going to do a job description because we're going to make sure we attract the right person. We're going to think about all the things that person needs to be good at. Then we are going to get it out there. And there's a million different ways to do that. Social media, your database, Facebook. I know I said social media, but before we go pay for a platform to publish our ad, let's see if we know anybody that fits that criteria that is looking for a job. Not that is looking for a job, and then we maybe find out if they fit that criteria. And that has to come first. All right, so we found the right person. We've gone through all of that. I know it's not that easy, and here we are. And now we're going to put that person in the role, and now we need to create a 30, 60, 90. I always make this like weird thing, but it's like a picture that I know what it looks like in my mind, which is we start here and we're trying to get here. This is 30, to 60 to 90 days. Okay, we're going that way. And over here, we own 100% of the job. And over here, we own 0% of the job. Over here, our admin owns 0% of the job. We own 100% of the job. And it's switched the other way around over here. So it's doing this like thing, this inverted yield thing. Okay. But what that means is that we are trying to hand off the job to our admin slowly. So we, at the first 30 days, we're still doing 80% of the job and they're doing 20% of it. At the 60-day mark, we're 50-50. At the 90-day mark, we are maybe 70-30, and so on until they completely take over that position. So what do we typically do? We hire someone, we put them in the role, we hand them maybe a job description if we slow them down long enough to do that. And then we just assume that they're going to know what to do. And I'm just here to tell you, they're not going to know what to do because they can't read your mind. And that is just not something that they are able to rise to because they have never been trained. They've never done what you've done. They don't have your experience. The last time I trained someone, I actually had them in the desk next to me. And everything I did, they were just listening to everything I did. The second week, they watched me do everything I did. The third week, they attended all my meetings. You train on the job. You take them with you. You give them a pad and paper and you tell them to take notes. And that is how they learn. They learn on the job, plus a 30, 60, 90, plus a job description, plus you hire the right person. So I hope this was helpful. Listen, I'm going to level with you, okay? Hiring is an art, and it is not easy. In the last 9 years of being a team leader of a Keller Williams brokerage, I have hired many people. And I know the time that goes into the hiring process and how painful it can be. But I promise that if you at least apply these 3 things, a lot of people are going to get eliminated. You're not even going to have to worry about whether you're hiring the right person or not. So again, I'm making this video because so many of my coaching clients are going through this right now. I thought this would be helpful. It's also what I've been talking about for like the last 3 weeks. Really looking forward to these agents making their next key hire. I'm looking forward for you to make the next key hire because if you hire the right person, you truly could double your unit. That is all that I have for you today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will see everybody next Wednesday. Goodbye.